Everyone, my name is Karrie Liu and I am a freelance data scientist in UK. And so as you can tell from my accent, I am immigrant from Hong Kong. So like I say, I'm really good at math, right? So I can't remember how old was it? It's like primary school. Normally I would be the top 5 people who in the exam on math. But normally they would say to me, from a girl point of view, you're the top in the class. But not all the boy though, not including the boy. But even though that I'm top of the class anyway, it doesn't matter boy or girl, but we say that. So that is the first thing. Second thing is personal experience. So if you're in a traditional place, so if you really traditional family in the it's like they call it Chinese village. So basically it's a place that if the boy born, they would give them a place to build a house. But if you're a girl, you got nothing. So it still happens quite a lot, but even in Hong Kong, that is like a colony for under the British, like for 99 years until 1997, that still happened. But if you ask me how I think about it, I would say to you that I thought it's normal. I literally thought it's normal. I thought that, okay, just tell me I'm just in front of the girl, I'm good, but okay, fine. I literally because we don't, no, first of all, that is one thing. Second is, we talk that anyone that above our generation, they're right. You cannot speak back. You cannot challenge them. Whatever they say is right because they are, the higher generation. They're my mom and dad, they're my teacher, they're my uncle, auntie. So you cannot, even though you thought, hang on a minute, what you said to me is wrong, or what you asked me to do is wrong, I cannot fight back. Like I said, I'm a mathematician. So from young to now, I'm always really good at math. So when I in A level, people would say to me, it's like, oh, you're good at math because you're Chinese. Then you're like, no, I'm good at math because I'm good at math. It's not because of what kind of background that I'm in. So that is the first thing. So second thing is sometimes when you say to people that, oh, you're a mathematician, and then they will suddenly slump you, say, oh, can you tell me like 11 times 13, what is it? You're like, I am a mathematician, but I'm not a calculator. So sometimes things like that can be, it's a funny, if you take a funny cut of it's fine. But if you talk about like more serious, for example, so let's say, so like I said to you before, is I come from 2 different cultures. So I still talk to my birth parent in Hong Kong a lot. And like I said, I got a British family who look after me a lot. So let's go back when I'm 18 years old, when I studied A level in UK. So on the day that I got my A level result, it's great. I got 2A and a C. So I did math, further math, and home economics. So the C is come from home economics. My British parent is really proud of me. It's like, oh, great, it's a really good result. You can go to university. I'm not saying Oxbridge, but good result for going to a university. But my Hong Kong parents say that, what are you thinking? Why you got so bad result? Why? So that is the first thing that I got because of that, from a family point of view. And then when I little bit older, when I graduate from my master degree, my first thing my Chinese father said to me is, I wish that you're a boy. It's not congratulations, it's that I wish that you're a boy. And then I was really upset, obviously. So, and then after 10 years after that, I got my top 100 women in technology in 2019. So I was really excited because I thought, oh, finally I got something. It's so solid that I can, my parents can be proud of me. It's how to say, no matter how old you are, you still want the people that you love, blood related, that who proud of you. So I was really excited. I tell my daddy, finally I win it. I'm one of the top 100. And then he said to me, have you win any money of it? I said, no, these don't even cross my mind. And then he said, oh, If there is no money in it, why would you do it? So what I'm trying to say is like, just because you're in different culture, in a British culture, my British parent is so proud. It's like the first thing they say is like, oh my God, were you going to be on in all the newspaper? Are you going to be interviewed by different people? Are you famous now? It's like, but when you say it like that, you feel a little bit different, because the thing is, bias can become from your own culture as well. And if you ask me, do I feel horrible? I would say to you, yes, definitely, because I want my parents to love me unconsciously, unconditionally. There is no thing to say that. But when you're being so, milestone moment, you really want them to say to you, it's like, oh, you're doing great. But the thing that I didn't get. So it's why it become a really mission to me, is like, well, because of our culture, from a Chinese point of view, that is not, it's something different. It's alien to the British culture. So I would like to tell my story to you guys, because if you don't know about it, you won't understand it. So that is why I thought would be quite a good place to start. Is like, just from a family point of view, you already find out, like, I won't say bias, just different upbringing or different thinking to lead to where you are. And like, for example, Tiger Mom. It's a term that you heard a lot. So is it a really bad thing? I would say to you, no, because I do growing up in a Tiger Mom environment, but this doesn't mean that they don't love me. They do, but it's just different way, that because another cultural difference is because the government in UK is so good that you got NHS. I mean, everyone don't think about it, but we as a, so for example, for Chinese traditional point of view, I need to financially look after my parents. They don't have pension. Right. I need to have be Chinese. So that is already not, I won't say burden, but you can tell that, when you earn £1,000, you use it on yourself, and earning £1,000 using with 3 different people, you're already having a different, how much you can do about it. So that is already, the thinking is already different. So from that point of view, the Chinese parents trying to make sure that you are able to support yourself, and then when you become adult. But in English culture, it's slightly different. They want you to do things that you feel happy, but you're also able to look after yourself, but not necessarily financially, but also mentally, or just everything that make you happy, but at the same time you can support yourself. They will be happy. So it's a really different definition of what culture can bring. And also, do you think it's biased? Yes, I think so. Because of this, from a workplace point of view, I need to get promotion really quickly. I cannot stay in one place for a very long time, because I got 2 parents, including myself, like one wages, I need to look after at least 3 people. But for people who have the same age as I do, like 20, 23, 24, when I finish uni, they only need to think about themselves. So what you need to do at that moment of time is you need to, I need to be progressive quicker, because I want to be in the place that I can be financially secure before I do something that I really enjoy or able to do it. However, that happened when I in the workplaces, they would say to me, well, why you keep pushing yourself to promotion? But the thing is, it's like, it's nothing about you good or bad though, because a lot of people having an idea is careers should have, every 3, you should stay in the company for 3 years before you get a promotion or change thing. But is that really true though? I personally don't think that, but that is also British thinking as well, that is, well, you should stay here for longer before you do it. However, I think different people have different pathway for doing that. But my pathway is different, because I got a financially, I need to be secure as soon as possible. Secondly is, I got a British government here that if I haven't earned at least £30,000 a year at that moment of time, I cannot stay in the country. So I need to get promotion to be able to stay in the country. But people in the British people won't understand that, because they don't need to go for immigration system. They don't understand. It's like, well, actually you're doing this, you got so many things related to it behind it. If I don't get that promotion, meaning that I get kicked out from the country. So, but things like that, you guys won't know. And also not many people really talk about it, because it's not normal. in the workplace, actually, I got a really funny story about this. So about 2017 actually, February 2017, I working in one of the consultancy company in London. They got office in Hong Kong. So like I said, because when I coming to UK, I was teenager. So I never really experienced my actor life in Hong Kong. So I said to my line manager, I say, hey, I'm going back to Hong Kong anyway. Should I go into the Hong Kong office, just check it out? Now, just being curiosity. I just want to know what difference between like London office and Hong Kong office. What is the, just experience, if that makes sense. So I allowed to be in the Hong Kong office for 1 week because I'm going to visit my parents in Hong Kong anyway. So I thought just go to work for 1 week to just feel like exchange student program, just learn it. So, okay, so after that, I come back. And then my line manager in London do a PDP with me. And then he said, well, everything is good, but sometimes you need to, speak up for yourself. You need to be, more, don't be afraid to talk. Don't be afraid to ask questions, right? That is fine. Is that okay if I talk to your Hong Kong supervisor to find out what happened in Hong Kong? Right, fine. I was like, yeah, it's fine. It's a PDP, right? It's fine, do it. And then 1 week later, he said to me, what you done in Hong Kong? I say, what? She said, you won't be able to work in Hong Kong ever because you ask too many questions. I only been there for 5 days. I just ask a lot of questions because I want to know about how they work. You know what I mean? You feel like there is a limited time. If you don't do it, don't do it. So I'm like, okay. And then I said to my London boss, I say, so what you want me to do now then? Then are you going to tell me to, because one of them asked me to not ask questions. The other one asked me to ask more questions. So I'm like, well, so what you want me to do? So yeah, but the thing is, he said that just keep it as a British way because we are in London. So yeah. In the institution of mathematics. So us being a migrant, being immigration, being minority, being younger generation, as the mathematician, as you can know, traditional university type of organization will be quite full of men and quite, and I don't have the PhD. That is why they try. I know that before I go in, I know that they're trying to bring the younger image in. So I'm kind of got, like you say, a tick box exercise that I tick all the boxes for being who I am. Sometimes I just feel that is sometimes, if you ask me, do I feel sadness? I would say to you, sometimes I do feel a bit like, well, do I get where I am because of those attributes? Does that make sense? But like I said, I don't know if the other women feel about it. Maybe, hopefully after you collect all the story that you got, I can listen to it. But that is something that always in the back of my mind is like, am I being so-called good? Is because of all the attributes add on. That is why I said, they need to have showing that they're doing something about inclusion, diversity, blah, blah, blah. So that is why I got paid, because I got all the attribute as well as the experience, whatever you call it. But like I said, I'm never able to find it out, but sometimes it's something that is being freelance is more like, well, I need someone to do the job. So what I mean is like, because they already need someone to do the job already. So they don't really think about other things. It's like, it's like the most important thing is like, can you do it? So I feel more, I feel more confident that I'm going in and out. But that is the reason why I enjoy being freelancer, because I don't feel like that kind of politics in it. So yeah, I know it sounds really weird. You can say that I avoiding the problem by creating a better situation myself, but that is how I do it. I told you another story after COVID happened. So in 2020, the February, so when Wuhan just break out, the China just break out the COVID. So in the UK, we haven't got any cases yet, right? On February 2020, I was on the underground with my friend who is British, white black man next to me. So we are on the underground. Then in one of the stop, I can't remember which one, there is a lady who come over go into the tube. I was already sitting down with her. She said to me, "Can you move?" What do you mean? It's like really politely, "Can you move?" I said, what do you mean? It's like, "Oh, I want to sit here, but you may have COVID, so can you move?" So my friend who sit next to me is like, "What do you mean? Why you think that she got COVID?" Then she's like, "Well, she haven't really said anything. She's like, "Oh, can you move? I really want to sit here." Then my friend said, well, there is another places that you can sit because it's not full train. You can just sit whenever you want, but why you want her to move?" Then at the end, she just jumped out of the train. But if you ask me why I find it is important about inclusion and diversity and understand the society, I hope that one day things like that won't happen. Things like this, I know it will say that it's so small, but I was lucky enough for her to be politely being impolite. I know it sounds really weird to say it like that, but if you ask me, is she coming over as a really horrible person or aggressive, or even the wording that she used, do you think it's impolite? I would say to you, no. But what she said is very impolite. And I would say that is why I think the story is important. I want the public to society to know that some of us do experience bias or racism or things like that every single day. But is it like need to have someone who died or someone being hit on the street before you do anything? No, I think we should do it very beginning, younger age, to saying that, well, being different is okay. Being different is just who we are, because no matter, even though we are same races, we come from different villages, we've already got different culture. So yeah, just because we are different color skin or the language that we speak is differently, just make us different, yes, but also make us who we are. So I think that is so important to tell them that, well, we need to accept everyone for who we are. Another example I can give it to you is like when I live in my British family, it's the village that is really rural village outside Nottingham. So I was kind of the only Chinese in that village. So basically when they say, "Oh, that Chinese girl," you know that they're talking about me. Not a problem. I don't feel that it's racist, that is anything, because I'm a Chinese is how can I be identified. But some people may not like it to be called like that. So we need to teach the young kid that you shouldn't say things like that, for example. But if you ask me, when the teenager come over me at that moment, sometimes we said to me, like, I know that you call her mommy, but you two are different color. Why? You look completely different than I do. Why? For me, I don't think it's racism. For me, it's just like children being curious. That is perfectly okay. But the thing is, when we're getting older, we're afraid to ask those questions. So there is another thing why I think that society needs to be more openly talk about it, because when we're younger, we all know that we normally ask questions that we shouldn't, right? You shouldn't say things that you shouldn't, right? But when we get older, we're afraid to ask that question and even talk about it. So for me, I hope this opportunity to bring more people out to talk about things that happen around you. And also, if we can talk from our young age, then become normal.